I'm Clarke Speaks, the catastrophic injury lawyer. Welcome to The Verdict. Let me ask you this. You know, when you do, what you described there is kind of a setback, right? You're on a plan, you're doing great, you're making progress, and then it's Halloween, it's Christmas. You have a day where the wheels just come off, and have you ever had that experience? Like when I see you, I'm like, I can't imagine. Part of me goes, I appreciate what you're trying to say, but you have looked like that, and you have felt like that, and you have been like that for your whole life, versus me, who has had a weight problem and struggled with weight and struggled with getting in the gym and doing those kinds of things and making healthy choices. I'm like, how does that guy really ever know what it's like to have these to struggle with fit? Like my brother, man, he was a fit guy. He tries to empathize with somebody who struggled with fitness and struggled with that mindset, but he doesn't know what it's like. He's always been ripped. So what's your reaction to that?
Well, when I broke my arm, I put on 40 pounds. That was a realization. So I found out what it was like to be out of shape. But like you said, I've been in shape before, so I knew I could get back there. So that was the first time I broke my arm, gained 40 pounds. Then after that, I had kids. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to be a dad. So I got a dad bod instead of going to the gym. So
I'm
after
familiar
that,
with the concept.
oh my God, that was coming back from that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home with my kids. They're young. And then I was like, man, forget this. Cause I could only walk like 10 feet in the mall. I had to sit down. My back was hurting. And so I was like, forget this. So I went back to the gym. And when I went back to the gym, in your mind, I'm like your brother. I still think I'm this fit guy. So I go to the gym, I'm working out, I'm struggling. And this trainer came up to me and he was like 40 pounds overweight. And he was like, man, do you need a personal trainer? And it felt like I just got slapped in my face. I was like, this guy is asking me. So that was the second time. But then the other time, uh, COVID happened. And that's when the mental stuff, the grown man stuff happened. It was like I was having trouble at home with the wife. Um, I was trying to find work, so DFIT was built on when I lost my job. DFIT, I lost my job in 2008, and after 2008, we know what happened. The economy got bad. I couldn't find a job, and that's how DFIT was born. Uh, Andrea, that's with me here today. Um, she helped me fill out applications everywhere. I moved to the island. Me and the family moved to the island. She helped me fill out applications everywhere. Nobody was hiring. So she says, "Why don't you personal train?" I was like, man, nobody's gonna pay for personal training. That was like 2010. And then she was like, well, go ahead and do it. Now here's God. This is how God works. So I get a call from my buddy. He's like, man, I got like 300 pounds, 400 pounds worth of weights. You know anybody want to buy them? And I was like, nah, man. I was like, let me check and see. I said, let me call my cousin and such and such. I was like, yeah, you could charge probably $3 a pound, blah, blah, blah. And then Andrew goes, dude, why don't you get those weights and then blah, blah, blah. So I called him back. I was like, man, how about a dollar a pound and then I get them. So I bought the weights from him. I started DFIT in my garage. I trained Andrea and this other young lady, Pam, and I needed a transformation. So we went by her business, PEI, Productive Environment Institute. They're all about productivity. And so she told me the steps to take. So I followed their blueprint. So I followed their blueprint and I started a business. I started filming them, showed their transformation, and that's how DFIT started. Started with their transformations, and it started in a one-car garage with bikes, and I had a curtain and a pee bucket in the corner, and that was it. And I had 300 pounds of weights. So DFIT was not built on beauty; it was built on knowledge and structure. My first paying client, my second paying client, was this very elegant lady from England, and she came from this highfalutin gym, and she found out about my gym in this garage that was uh, that was dusty. Had We had lawnmowers in there, everything. But she found out we got transformations, and that's what DFIT is built about: getting over adversity, getting through things, Horrible things. I've trained people that were paralyzed from a guy that was paralyzed from his chest down, but he trusted me, and that's the thing. Just like Speaks Law Firm, trust me, and I'll help you get through this. And I tell people that you gotta trust the expert. Everybody that trusts me and they listen to me, they got transformations. So it wasn't about the equipment, it was the knowledge of teaching them about food and structure and things that it's not about doing the reps and lifting like this. It's about the other side of the gym, getting to the gym, the things that you're going to have to go through. I tell people all the time, they're like, all right, your spouse is watching you lose 40 pounds. What's going to happen when they see you lose 40 pounds? I'm like, they're going to start putting muffins in front of your face and saying, oh, you need to take a break. And I'm like, what you going to do when that happens? So I teach people things like that, like things that are going to happen. And through the years, I've just, all the stories and I can help new people with.
The only way you're ever going to know that is through the experience of having trained somebody, watch them improved, and see somebody who is close to them, maybe even loves them, sabotage them. Tell me about so you've mentioned adversity in a couple of times, and adversity is a big theme around here. We've talked about it a lot of times, and so and part of that's what we do with our with the law firm, and part of that is what this podcast is about. If we had to boil it down to one thing, it's about helping people overcome adversity, whether it's an injury or something else, or an addiction or whatever. But and adversity seems to be a theme that comes through your professional life and I guess in your personal life. We all have to face it, you know. My theory is that adversity is not necessarily a bad thing. That sometimes the only way that you can achieve, you know, important and monumental growth is by by a challenge being I tell you, this is another thing I heard recently, that sometimes God gives you a Goliath in order to bring the David out in you. So what's your reaction to that?
Oh, definitely. I tell everybody I'm one of God's warriors. Everybody thinks Christians are like, oh yeah, blah blah. No, God has warriors that He has here, and He said you're a warrior. He said you need to get these people's butt into gear, and you need a Goliath. And a lot of people, they love the way I talk to them. I'm not one of those trainers. Come on, 20 more. I'm more like, you're just gonna let that weight kick your butt. I'm like, you're just gonna sit there. So I'm more like I bring out the warrior in that person individually. I train every individual person differently according to their mental state and how they like to train. I have some people that I tell them like I can tell them I was like, all right, your muscle endurance sucks. I was like, you need to build up your muscle endurance. And then I have some people like, oh yeah, well, it's okay, let's go through this. So it all depends on getting to know the person. You got to know that person's mental state, where they're at in life, what they've been through, and what they will do. And that's pretty much it. Finding out who that warrior is. What are they good at? What is that warrior good at? Is he good at the slingshot? Is he good at the bow and arrow? What is his mental state? Is he good at coordinating things? That's the thing. You have to find out what your army, your people, what are they good at? And then you help them get better at what they do. Get them healthier at what they do, not
We
what
all
I
got
do.
some kind of talent. Part of your responsibility then, and part of your goal is to help them uncover it, find out what it is, and maximize it.
Yeah, maximize your talent. Don't look at me. That's why I always show my clients. But I just started showing me because I wanted to show people my age you can come back, but you don't have to look like me. I look like this because I went to heck and back, and I was like, I'll never go back there again.
So give me some examples about either in your personal life or your clients' lives where people have had some faced adversity and really done a phenomenal job of overcoming it, and it's led to something wonderful.
Well, we had one client. We had Becky, and Becky worked at Walmart, and she was one of Andrea's clients through a program Andrea worked in with family counseling. And Becky was probably 500, maybe 500 pounds, around 500 pounds. And Andrea said, "Hey, why don't you come to DFIT?" And I was like, "Okay." And she didn't have a lot of money. She worked at Walmart, so she was eager. She trusted Andrea. Then she started trusting me. She lost 50. She lost 100. She lost 150. Her attitude started changing, started getting positive. And then we worked our way up, all the way up to surgery, where she needed to start lifting more weights instead of losing weight. And just the whole DFIT family came together. Becky was 30 years old. She didn't have a license. She worked at Walmart. We added another space on the DFIT so she can live because she was in a toxic family living. And I was like, you got to move out of that house. So we added on another side of DFIT and put her room in there. We cut a hole in a door in the wall and moved over. We rented the next door, and then we had her move next door. And what she would do, she would go home, visit her family, take a shower, and then come back to DFIT. That's why I said you got to change your environment. If it's really, really hostile, I know a lot of people don't have to go to that extreme, but we had to extract her from that, or she would never lose the weight. DFIT family came together. We had Miss Pat. She's an older lady. She was 85. She taught Becky how to drive. We had Chris. She sold her the car. She let her make payments on a Honda. She paid like $50 a week. She paid me. I told Becky, I was like, just pay me like 200. I think it was 200 a month, and that was for rent and that was for training. And so we just lowered everything so she could get her transformation.
So it sounds like to me that DFIT is not necessarily a gym or a program. It's more of a community that's got that's connected by a purpose. Is that fair?
Yes, it is a community. And the thing is, when you have a community, when you care, you can get screwed. Because I'm telling you, when you help people, a lot of times, a lot of people don't want help and they'll turn on you. But you have to keep doing what you do. You have to. I told Andrew the other day, I wake up every morning at 4 o'clock loving what I do. I love what I do. And I don't care if people screw me over or not. It's going to happen. But the ones that you do help, you get this gratification. And we made a video, I'll send it to you with Becky in it, where she lost all her weight. I cannot watch that video without crying because it's like she inspires me to do what I do. When people get their transformation, it's not about the money. People don't understand. The money is what keeps the doors open for the next person for the transformation. It's about, like, I tell everybody, well, D, what if I came in once a week? Would that be cheaper? I was like, no, that'll cost you more because I got to put more time and effort into it. You come in every day where I can speak to you, that lowers your rates and you'll get the transformation. So people think it's about money. It's not about money, it's getting that transformation.
Are you training people one on one or groups or both or what?
All, whatever you need. Most of my people, they don't like big gyms, and the group is what keeps them together. I think one on one is boring. It's like, hey, what'd you do yesterday? Oh, you and the husband, blah, blah, blah. But the group training, they get to interact with each other and they keep each other moving, they keep each other motivated. And I just kind of guide them along and we just talk about day to day positive stuff, organization. But the group is the strongest part of DFIT. But I do the virtual and the diets and stuff where people that already know the workout. So I do it all.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us to stay up to date with our weekly episodes. We'll see you next time.